Okay, so threat actor negotiations. So there are a few objectives for threat actor negotiations. The first is delaying the threat actor. Basically, the reason why you want to delay a threat actor is to buy more time for the investigation to continue so that the incident responders can identify all of these systems that have been touched, all of the backdoors, identify how they got in and cut all of that access off. So you basically, one of the things with the negotiations is just to delay them and delay them and delay them. And there's a few different techniques that we use for that. The other objective is to gather intelligence from the threat actor about the security breach. So from an incident perspective, we want to gather, might be the list of files or the list of systems they touched or the exploit that they used or, the entry point, how they got in. And we can try and extract some of that information and negotiate it out of the threat actor. And that feeds into the investigation so that we can target our efforts to try and kick them out and understand what's actually happened. The other reason we do that is for legal activities. So if we can get a list of files that the threat actor has stolen, so a full list, then the client can then go and identify, typically we'll ask for the full list of files and the systems that they came from. That will then allow the legal team to get the client to go through and actually identify what data has been stolen. That allows them to determine if it's a notifiable data breach, and therefore you can then try and notify the OAIC before that 30-day time frame. The other landmine is around threat actor payments. Right, so currently payments are legal. However, now you need to start taking into account things like sanctions. So, the Australian government put a sanction on the hacker from the Medibank breach. So Alexander Emakov, and so you are not allowed to pay extortion and payments to that individual. And if you do, then you can, obviously get into a lot of legal trouble. Obviously there's huge difference between paying, $100 and $10 million to these guys. Also, you need to take into account, even if there are not sanctions, you need to take into account, potential breaches of laws associated with funding terrorism. So if these threat actor groups are deemed as cyber terrorist organizations, if you're making payments to them, you could be seen as funding terrorism, and therefore you get taken to court around breaking some of those laws. One of the other things with some of the legal actions around some of the stolen data, HWL, Ebsworth, the legal firm who got breached, obtained an injunction from the Supreme Court that actually attempted to prevent the hackers from disclosing the data, but really it was also to prevent the media from disclosing the data and discussing the data that's actually been stolen from them as well, which is another consideration.